In the interest of preserving a sibling rivalry, I get to date 21-year-old co-eds. I shouldn't be complaining about that. Page 2. I promise. Mom, it gets nicer. I promise. Dirty looks. All right, enough of that. So, just getting to how Bobby actually met his future wife and my future roommate, who I didn't realize at the time. Year was 2005. Bobby and I decided we were going to actually buy a house together, and we figured it would be a great investment. At the same time, yes, big mistake. You're absolutely right. That's another story. So. At the time, also, we had both had girlfriends. I guess the thought was, if it all worked out, one of us would end up engaged. We'd buy the house up from the other, and we'd live happily ever after. Sure enough, like 6 or 8 months later, we're both single, by choice.
Shocker!
Jeff, is this your speech or mine? I know you very much like the attention, but come on. Put your glasses on. Sit there. So anyway, so we both ended up single. At that time, my brother and I entered a stage of our life I like to refer to as freedom. And we were enjoying this stage of freedom. Basically 2 single brothers living in a bachelor pad, just kind of barbecues, parties every weekend, enjoying just being single. And one day, Miss Kelly Milishowskis, identify yourself. This is the reason we're here, by the way, so everyone acknowledge Kelly Milishowskis, put the light on her. She decides that this blissful stage of freedom that I was so thoroughly enjoying must somehow come to an end. And there was a girl she worked with that Bobby just had to meet, and so she introduced my brother to one Miss Elizabeth Bonilla. Woo! And the truth is, I guess she was right, because from the beginning, this thing was a whirlwind. I mean, I wish there was some long, story of some long courtship I could tell you all about. But the truth is, they're going on a first date. 8 months later, my brother's on one knee on the boardwalk in Long Beach proposing.
Yeah!
And the next thing you know, I'm pulling mail from my mailbox addressed to Elizabeth Bonilla. So, I'm going to be honest, I didn't see that one coming at all. And although I might have been caught by surprise, watching them has certainly provided me with a bird's eye view of their relationship, and watching it blossom over the last couple of years has been entertaining, especially in those times that my brother's wanted to throw himself off the roof, waiting for Liz. I don't know if you all know the stories about Liz, but she is notoriously late, and I don't mean like 10 minutes late, I mean like 2 hours late. And I'm not exaggerating. Bobby told her the wedding was yesterday just to make sure she'd be here in time. I mean, it's unbelievable, and it's fun to watch. But let me get back to sharing a house.
Very true.
The first couple of years was just the 2 of us. No, I'm almost done. Shush, Jen. You can make yours quick. I need some time. So, the first couple of years, my brother and I shared a house, and then the last couple of years with our special little guest. But truthfully, sharing a house has given me some time to get to know my brother. With the age gap, the truth is, we never really were that close growing up. And living with him, it's given me the time to get to know my brother a lot better. And it's not that it's not. Up until I was like 6, maybe, you kicked my ass, but I don't know. It's just given me the time to get to know him, and it's not that we've shared every waking moment together, but living with one another, you get to learn a lot about each other, and maybe too much, but that's another story. And I can honestly say I've cherished the time I've had to get to know my brother a little bit better. I should say a lot better. Apparently, we're running some Olympic trials through this. For those of you that know both of us, know that my brother and I are very, very different people. But the one thing that became so glaringly apparent, you agree with that, Bob? I got the smile. The one thing that became glaringly apparent to me is what a great person my brother really is, and a great person. A great person with a huge heart. And the truth is, pretty much anybody in this room, a couple of exclusions, could call my brother up tomorrow and ask him for a favor or just about help with anything, and there's absolutely zero excuse that my brother will come up with to not be there for you. Cheers. And I'm sorry, but
very true.
Don't cry, shithead.
There's children here.
So I actually am taking this moment, though. I gotta take a minute to address my parents real quick, because the truth is that quality of selflessness that most of us lack, comes from my parents. And we don't express our appreciation for my parents enough, being two boys. But I swear, Mom and Dad, we've spoken about this. We were heavily intoxicated at the time, but we both agree that you were the greatest parents and the greatest influences the two of us could have ever grown up with. I love you. Thank you very much. But back to Bobby. It's that sense of selflessness combined with his generosity and his just overall zest for life and subsequent refusal to grow up, I might add. But I think drew Liz to him.
Bobby, no.
And now having shared the same four walls with Liz, I've been able to witness just what made my brother act so quickly in proposing to her. Clearly beautiful on the outside. I've learned that Liz's true beauty is in her equally generous nature and just her ability to effortlessly just fit in with everybody around her. And funny enough, my brother's #1 requirement growing up has been, you need to fit in with our family and friends. It's just, her gregarious nature and her sweet, warm smile is just, leaves those around her with no other choice but to embrace her immediately. And even our parents fell in love with her instantly. So we welcome you. And I'm going to close in a second. But there is one thing that I can attest to better than anybody else living with both of them. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but they have two of the corniest personalities you will ever see in your life. They think you don't get a chance to say anything, so zip it. But it's hilarious, and I don't mean that in a bad way. But the three of us will be sitting around, and one of them will start a story or a joke that they think is funny, and the story will be over, and the two of them are rolling on the floor, cracking up, and I don't have a freaking clue what the hell is so funny. But it's just that is what tells me these two belong together. Because no matter who else is around or what else is going on around them, they are truly happiest in the presence of each other. So with that, I'm going to ask everyone to raise their glasses for a toast. To Mr. and Mrs. Robert Donovan. May you never cease to keep each other smiling. May your love for one another grow with each new day. And may you and my future nieces and nephews be blessed with a lifetime of health and happiness. Congratulations, I love you both. Cheers. Woo!